Did you know that Spina Bifida affects between 5 and 10% of the population? Hey guys, so Spina Bifida is a condition that mainly affects the spine. Here's the official definition. Spina Bifida is a congenital defect of the spine in which part of the spinal cord and its meninges are exposed through a gap in the backbone. Basically, when a baby is growing in the womb, the spine doesn't develop properly. There are several different kinds of Spina Bifida, but today we're going to look at 3 of them. The first is myelomeningocele. This is where an opening is left where part of the spine was supposed to grow, and it leaves a gap in the backbone which allows the meninges, which are the protective membranes, and the spinal cord to push through, and this makes kind of a bulge in the baby's back. The second is meningocele, and this is where only the protective membranes, the meninges, push out from the opening in the spine. And third is occulta, and this is actually the most common and the mildest form of Spina Bifida. This is where the opening in the spine is very small, and it's usually covered with skin, so neither the spinal cord or the meninges can be pushed out. So even though Spina Bifida mainly affects the back, it can cause other issues in other parts of the body too. Damage to the spinal cord can affect the limbs, the bowels, and even the brain. But luckily, it is a complete myth that all babies born with Spina Bifida will be mentally impaired. It's a myth that can really worry parents about the diagnosis of Spina Bifida, but many children born with the condition have a normal or even heightened IQ. In a study done on 173 children, all with Spina Bifida, it was found that their average IQ is between 80 and 85, which is in the normal range for children their age. And on top of that, 87% had an IQ above 80. So the cause of Spina Bifida, it is unknown, but they do believe it to be either a lack of folic acid during pregnancy, possible hereditary factors, but it could also be caused by certain medications being taken during pregnancy, such as valproate or carbamazepine. But even with no known cause for the condition, there are treatments available to those with it, such as surgery to close the opening in the spine, although unfortunately this will not repair the damage that has already been done to the spinal cord. And there are also many different therapies, both physical and occupational, to help those with the condition in their daily lives. So the last thing we're going to go over in this video is a very upsetting myth about Spina Bifida, and it's usually new parents that come across this myth, perhaps if they're learning about their child having the diagnosis, or if they're learning just in case something happens or is diagnosed. Most babies born with Spina Bifida will either be stillborn or will not survive early infancy. Now, actually, the chances of a baby born with an isolated neural tube defect, which is the type of condition Spina Bifida is classed as, will be stillborn is actually less than 5%, which is actually, as far as I know, about the normal chances of stillbirth happening. The only reason I don't have a statistic for early infancy is there are so many different kinds of Spina Bifida and of isolated neural tube defects that it is impossible to get a number for that. But yeah, the chances of a stillbirth, less than 5%. So, my question for you this week is, have you ever met anyone with Spina Bifida? And if you have it, what's helped you most in dealing with it? Hit me up in the comments below, guys, or send me a message. Either one would be fantastic. And as always, thank you so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed it. Hit that like button if you did. Hit subscribe if you want to see more. And I will see you in the next video.